Truck drivers in Adelaide have staged a protest against the big supermarkets. They say they're being placed under too much pressure to meet unreasonable deadlines. For more on today's protests, I'm joined now from Adelaide by Ian Smith from the Transport Workers Union. Ian Smith, give us a brief example of the pressure drivers are under when it comes to deliveries to these major supermarkets.
Well, good afternoon. Well, the fact of the matter is, the surveys that we've done and speaking to numerous drivers, they're always put under pressure to skip breaks, speed, cut their maintenance.
So they pick up a load in one city, how much time, who calculates how much time they've got to get it to another city, another destination?
Well, simply, what happens quite consistently is there'll be a normal delivery drive time from Melbourne to Adelaide, for example. That might be 10 hours, it might be 9 hours, and then they'll calculate it that there's a half-hour window that the driver has to get to a Coles DC to make delivery. If he misses that time slot, he could very well have to wait till the next day. If he's a subcontractor, he's unlikely to get paid. A lot of the company drivers don't get paid. So they don't get paid at all if they don't make the exact time? Absolutely. So if they're 30 minutes late, too bad, they can't drop off their load? They have to sit there all day and wait for another time slot to come up. They may get in, but the majority of the time they'd sit there for 4 or 5 hours and they're not being paid, because they're paid as a trip rate in most cases, which includes loading and unloading, but the times are absolutely ridiculous at times that they're asked to meet.
So drivers, what do they do to try to make sure they don't miss that slot? Are they, for example, skipping their breaks, speeding?
Yes, and we've seen the incidents of that.
They're speeding as well?
Yes, yeah, both on both those occasions.
Are they taking illegal substances?
Well, we haven't had anyone that's actually said that to us, but there's obviously the police have found through their testing that this is the case.
So these protests by the union have been going on for some time now. You've made it a regular feature. Have you been able to negotiate with the major supermarkets about trying to get a bit more wiggle room into those delivery times?
Well, yes and no. There is Woolworths has supported the 5-star system and has been active negotiations with the union to come up with a plan that delivers some decent rates, some decent delivery times, and some standards in the industry that we require. Coles have stuck their head in the sand. They're saying it's not their responsibility. Well, that's wrong. It is their responsibility. They're part of the chain of responsibility, and they need to take notice and get their head out of the stand and start talking to us and the drivers that are in the industry and make the road safety.
And just finally, Ian Smith, you had a little bit of a protest today, as I understand it, at a shopping centre in Adelaide. Are shoppers, are consumers aware of the pressure that drivers are under? What was their response from the public?
Absolutely, the community is right behind us. We get many calls. We get many people today were supporting us, and that's been the case all the way through. And finally, just while I'm talking about it, the Road Safety Tribunal that was set up a couple of years ago, by the previous government, that tribunal was set up to directly deal with these issues, to set rates of pay and set conditions within the workplace. What I'm saying to you is that the government, this current government, wants to pull that to bits. They should let that tribunal do its work, do what it was set up to do. The TWU fought for 20 years to get that legislation through because we've been aware of the conditions of this particular sector of the industry for that long.
All right, Ian Smith from the Transport Workers Union, thank you for joining us live from Adelaide.
Thank you.